So you know how I keep saying none of this has anything to do with saving lives? More evidence of this today. Well, it's not exactly new evidence, but it just popped into my timeline on Twitter. So that's why I'm making a video about it now. So we're talking about New York City right now because, well, that's where I'm from, but also that's where most of the deaths are. So it's relevant. So if you think about what could you possibly do in New York City to make sure as many people as possible die? Not reduce the death, but increase the death as much as possible. Well, there are two incubators of death as far as this virus is concerned in New York City. Well, one is specific to New York City, and that's the subway system. But the second one is not specific to New York City, and that's the nursing homes, right? So if you wanted to make sure as many people die as possible, you would focus on the subway system and the nursing homes, right? So that's exactly what they did. What did they do to make sure more people die in the subway? Well, what causes the virus to spread? Crowding, right? So the more people you cram into a space, the more likely that they're gonna infect each other. So what did they do? They reduced the subway service so that there are not as many cars, subway cars, so that more people have to be stuffed into each car. So they deliberately, artificially increased the crowding on already crowded New York subway as a response to the virus, right? So obviously this increased the transmission. And if you look at the map of where in New York City the most people were infected, it's exactly the parts of New York City where people most rely on the subway. Not surprising. But what else did they do? I mentioned the nursing homes. They actually sent over 4,000 infected people that were known to be infected. Not like people who happened to be infected, but people who were in the hospitals being treated for the disease who tested positive. They sent over 4,000 of these people to the nursing homes. So knowing that more than half of all the deaths occur in the nursing homes because that's where people are most vulnerable, they've actually sent, and that was a program that Cuomo supported. So it's not like it was done and nobody knew about it. He openly, that was the official program, right? And it came from the top. So they sent, and he even admits this. I mean, he can't deny it because he was publicly supporting it. So he actually sent over 4,000 people with the virus to the nursing homes. Now, I don't know what else you could have done to make more people die. They did everything they could. So like what did they do in Sweden? They did the exact opposite, right? They didn't do shit except protect people in the nursing homes, right? So in the nursing homes, that's where the majority of all the deaths occurs. So in Sweden, they didn't damage the economy, they didn't close down businesses, they didn't arrest anybody and throw them to prison, they just protected the vulnerable in the nursing homes. In New York City, they shut down everything. Like in places like California, they arrest people for like surfing in the ocean as if I don't know who you're gonna infect, like the sharks or something, by surfing in the ocean, but those people got arrested. Meanwhile, in New York City, they reduced subway service, crammed people into subway cars so that they're all breathing down each other's necks, and then they sent over 4,000 infected people to the nursing homes. Now you're thinking, I don't know what you're thinking, but either this is like the most outrageous level of stupidity imaginable, and I don't believe that people like Cuomo and guys like that can be that stupid. Like, maybe a janitor can be this stupid, right? But somebody who like goes to a top university and then has like a successful career and so on, somebody who's not 5 years old but like, you know, an adult and doesn't have any dementia or whatever, I do not believe that a person like that can be that stupid, right? So why would they deliberately do this? Well, because, like I said, their goal from the beginning was to destroy the economy, right? The more they destroy the economy, not on, like the official Trump story is that and they're destroying the economy to make sure that he loses the re-election, right? But that's Trump fantasy, because Trump thinks everything is about him. He has a very big ego. I mean, they really are trying to destroy the economy, that's obvious, but it's not really about him. I mean, of course, they would like to get rid of him, and of course, they probably think that destroying the economy will make it more likely, but it's only in Trump's own mind that the universe revolves around him and everything is about him. It's not about him, right? They're destroying the economy because they always wanted to destroy the economy, because they think the more economic activity there is, the more pollution there is, and basically what they want to do is get rid of all the people and send everybody back to the Stone Age, so they don't pollute their precious planet, and so they don't have to immigrate to Mars, something to hide from the pollution, right? So it was all about destroying the economy. The more death you can create, the more excuse you have to lock down the economy even further and destroy it even further. So my opinion is they deliberately tried to do what they could to make sure as many people die as possible, to accelerate their plan, which was all about global warming, like I said.